Ladies and gentlemen, my name is William Endres, and I need to talk to you for a second about politics. I live here in Washington State in the 8th Congressional District, have lived here more or less all my life. We have a representative in Washington, D.C. by the name of Dave Reichert. He's a Republican, and he has announced that he will not be running for re-election in this coming midterm election. So that means his seat is going to be open, and we, the people, need to decide who do we want to represent us in Washington, D.C. Now, I know there's a Democrat person by the name of Kreidler running. I hear that. And then on the Republican side, a man by the name of Dino Rossi is running, and he is someone who has tried hard to become our governor 2 times and has failed both those times, and is now trying to be elected as a congressman from the 8th Congressional District. So we need to decide what kind of person do we want to have representing us in Washington, D.C. Do we want to have conservative Republicans, or do we want to have either a progressive moderate Democrat or a full-blown liberal Democrat? I want to let you know that I am going to run as a Democrat, but I am not a liberal Democrat. I am a progressive Democrat. And the difference between liberal and progressive is a liberal Democrat might want to tax the wealthy and the corporations to supplement, let's say, health care for average people, where I don't think that at all. I think we should all take care of ourselves as best as we can, but the system needs to be structured in the best possible way. And that's what a progressive believes in, is making progress and organizing things in the best possible fashion. Having insurance companies involved in our health care is a crazy notion. They are huge industries raking off hundreds of billions of dollars off of medical care. And there's no need for insurance companies at all. It's much better for each individual to just pay a tax from their income, and that money would go into a fund, and then when you need to see the doctor, you show your, let's say, Social Security card, and the doctor bills are more or less paid, other than perhaps a $20 copay or something small like that. But the system can be organized much better, and I would be a progressive Democrat if I were to be lucky enough to represent you in Washington, D.C. I do want to let you know that Republicans believe in, they say they believe in cutting your taxes, and to get your vote, that's what they'll say, but the reality is 90% of their cuts go to the wealthy and the corporations, and the little guy gets next to nothing. The better way to stimulate and grow the economy is you give your bigger tax cuts to the middle class. You might give a teeny cut to the corporations and the business until the economy gets going, but you give more spending money to the middle class, and they will take care of the corporations. They're going to go out and spend their money. Commerce at the corporations increases, their profits increase, they make more money, and they end up paying more tax because of the increased commerce, and then they need to hire more employees, which is good for job creation, and again, revenues are generated from the new employees, and it's not really deficit spending, it's just it's money that's away from government for a while, but it comes back to the government within a year or so. And you're not doing that bad of a deal to yourself when you do deficit spending. When you give tax cut to the corporations, they just increase their profits or buy back stock. They're not creating jobs, but they're making more money, which is good, and I'm happy about that. But when we do tax policy, we have to be responsible about growing the economy and not just lining the pockets of the wealthy. Can you believe Republicans want to privatize our Social Security? or do away or reduce our Medicare and Medicaid. This is the craziness that conservative Republicans are going to bring you. And I guarantee you, if Dino Rossi were elected, he wants to be a good Republican. And he will, in order to maintain his good standing in the Republican Party, whether he agrees with those policies or not, he will vote for them and be a good Republican. So we don't want conservative Republicans in government. They want to reduce regulation. And that sounds like, oh, good, let's get the government out of people's lives. But it's just, the average person is not hassled by regulation. We get up, we go to work, we come home, and we're not hassled in any way. They're trying to reduce the regulation for the corporations so they can pollute our water and our air more easily. Builders do not have to build to building codes and provide safe buildings. It's regulation controls the medical industry. That's what the Affordable Care Act was all about. It told insurance companies what you must cover. It was regulation, and it was good. Our kids could stay in our policies till 26. There would be no catastrophic insurance policies and no pre-existing condition clauses. Regulation is good. It's wanted, and I want it in society. I don't know if you do, but it's a good thing. And so it's important that we elect the right kind of people in Congress. If we want to reduce the availability of weapons in our society, I mean, this assault rifle nonsense is, I can't believe we're allowing these to be sold to civilians. Average people have no reasonable use for an assault weapon, and we've seen dozens of horrible massacres and tragedies perpetrated by these people with these weapons. And so Republicans are going to keep this nonsense in our society, and there's more Democrats that are trying to eliminate those type of weapons. And so I believe that the kind of politician we want is a progressive politician, someone who understands that maintaining the middle class keeps the entire economy strong. It's good for everyone, including businesses and the wealthy. And like I said, regulation is what keeps the system functioning at the proper level. You can put your money in a bank and know that it's safe because the bank is being regulated and looked over by the federal government. It's following certain regulations. And so I pledge to support the system, to be a progressive candidate, and to work in the interests of the people. I really appreciate you for watching this video. And of course, if you were to donate in some way with a contribution, that would be greatly appreciated. I think one thing that I can kind of agree with President Trump on is his tactic for getting elected was to use a lot of social media. And so I will try to be on not only GoFundMe, but YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. And I will probably, if you want to call it, my handle will be the letters WE, which stands for William Endres, and then the number 4, and then the word Congress. So we4congress, and that's how you will find me. And I hope to be in communication with the people throughout this campaign, and perhaps we can get a progressive person in there representing us. We have a Democrat governor, we have 2 Democrat senators, and a lot of Democrat congressmen in Washington state. We are a progressive state, and we don't need a Republican representing us in the 8th congressional district. So if you choose to support me, thank you so much for your support. Please live your life constructively and with love for your family and wife, and that love your pets, and let's go forward. Thank you so much.